Hi everyone, I'm Julia, the chemistry tutor, and today I'm going to talk about how to do calculations with cubic lengths. Okay, it's not just a normal calculation, it's when you have like cubic meters and you're trying to go to cubic inches. Okay, there's a certain way to do those calculations, and that's what I'm going to talk about today. Okay, so I have this question here. We're looking for how many cubic inches do I have in 42 cubic feet? Okay, so we know that 1 foot is 12 inches. But you see right here, I have 3 feet units that I need to cancel. So this single foot unit doesn't do it. Okay, so the best way to do this so you don't forget to cube everything is to write this down 3 times. Okay, so those 3 feet units cancel those 3 feet units, and you are left with 3 inch units. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and calculate that. And I get 72567. 72567. Now, technically, we're limited to 2 sig figs. So that 5 is going to round that to a 3. But 73 does not mean the same thing as 72,567. So we have to either put zeros in to get to the 10,000s place. Do not put a decimal at the end, because a decimal at the end gives you 5 sig figs. Remember, zeros are ending zeros are significant if there is a decimal in the number. So no decimal, those zeros are not significant. Or you could go into scientific notation. Okay. So you have to do that 3 times. So some of your instructors might say, they might do it like this, where they say, we know that there's 12 inches in 1 foot, and then they do this. But you are going to forget to cube that 12. Okay, so the chances are on an exam when you're stressed, you are going to forget to cube the 12. So if you write it down 3 times, you don't forget to do that math. Okay, so let's do another one. Let's say I want to know how many cubic meters are in 27 cubic inches. Okay. And you'll notice I swap back and forth between writing my starting place here and writing it down below. It doesn't really matter. Okay. I don't remember if I had said inches earlier, but that's where I'm going now. Okay. So the relationship, so we've got a metric and the imperial system, or some people call this the English. Okay, so we're switching between the two. So the relationship we know is that there's 2.54 centimeters in 1 inch. So we need to go through centimeters in order to get over to meters. Okay, so let me erase that so I have space. So we know that there in 1 inch, there's 2.54 centimeters, but we need to cancel 3 of those. So we're going to write this down 3 times. Whoops. Okay, so I have that 3 times, so those 3 inches cancel those 3 inches. Now I have cubic centimeters. Okay, now I'm going to turn centimeters into meters, and we know there's 100 centimeters in 1 meter, but we need 3 of those to cancel all 3 of the centimeter units. So 1 meter, 100 centimeters, 1 meter, 100 centimeters. So those 3 centimeter units get canceled with those 3 centimeter units, and we are at cubic meters. Okay, so if I calculate that, I get 4.24 4.24507 and some stuff times 10 to the negative 4. And we're looking at 2 sig figs, so 4.2 times 10 to the negative 4 cubic meters. Okay. So what if I said something like, how many, what do I want to do here? How many liters are in 9.37 cubic inches? Okay. So that's a pretty involved one. Okay, that's a pretty major one. We're going from a volume to a cubed length. Okay, so your relationship between volume and cubed length is always 1 cubic centimeter is 1 milliliter. Okay, and the reason for that is, let's pretend those are a centimeter long. If I square my centimeter, I get that. If I cube my centimeter, I get a box that holds a volume. If this was 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter by 1 centimeter, then this would hold 1 milliliter of fluid. 1 cubic centimeter is 1 milliliter of fluid. Okay? So that's our relationship. Anytime we're going between a cubed length and a volume, this is the conversion that we know to get between the two. So I need to turn my cubic inches into cubic centimeters. Okay, so to give myself space, I'm actually going to come down here. Okay. So I'm going to go first to cubic centimeters so I can use this to get over to my liters, to my milliliters to liters. Okay, so we know 1 inch from up here is 2.54 centimeters. But we need to cancel 3 of those, so we need to write it down 3 times. Okay, so those 3-inch units cancel those 3, and I'm at cubic centimeters now. Now I can use my conversion that 1 cubic centimeter is 1 milliliter. So see, you already have 3 centimeter units there. You don't need to write this down 3 times because those 3 cancel those 3. Okay, but I need to go to liters. So we know 1,000 milliliters is 1 liter. And I'm left with liters, which is what I'm looking for. So now I'll calculate that real quick. And I get 0.153546. And we're looking at 3 sig figs there because that guy. So 0.153 liters. Okay. So remember, you always have to cancel however many units there are. What if I said, how many square meters in 49 square kilometers? Okay, we know 1 kilometer is 1,000 meters, but I need to cancel 2 of those, so I'll write it down twice. Okay, and this is going to give me 4.9 times 10 to the 7 square meters. Okay. So however many of those units you have to cancel, if it's squared, you do it twice. If it's cubed, you do it 3 times. If it were to the 4th, you would do it 4 times, right? So what if I said how many meters to the 4th equals 26 micrometers to the 4th? Okay, or I meant micro, not milli. I meant micro. Okay, so we know that there's 1 times 10 to the 6 micrometers in a meter, but we need to do this 4 times because we have to cancel 4 of those. So 1 times 10 to the 6 micrometers, 1 meter. 1 times 10 to the 6 micrometers, 1 meter. 1 times 10 to the 6 micrometers, 1 meter. So those 4 cancel those 4, and I'm left with meters to the 4th. Okay, I'm not going to worry about doing that math. Okay, I'm not going to do the calculations. Okay, but do you see what I'm saying? No matter how many units you have to cancel, you have to do it that many times. But pay attention, because like right here, I already had the cubed. I didn't need to do it 3 times. Okay, so yeah, I think that is really all I have to say about that. So have a great day.